Well, hope everybody had a good holiday. We were gonna film last week, but some stuff happened, so we're like, oh, yeah.
Bermuda Day stuff happened, because, you know, I like a little Bermuda Day.
I like a little sit home in my AC day. Speaking of Bermuda Day, did you hear that lady on the radio talking about how Bermuda needs to be more Bermudian, and Bermuda Day shouldn't have any of the Portuguese and Filipino floats in it, and it's just the Indians and the Bermudans. First of all,
thanks, Trump Pat. We appreciate that. Mrs. Trump, Lisa Trump. That's her name.
I can't even remember her name. Like I turned it off because I felt like my brain cells were just committing seppuku in my brain.
Jesus.
That is ritual Japanese suicide, if you don't understand what that means. Regardless.
Trumpet.
I heard that and I'm just like, how stupid can you really be? Because I heard, and the thing is, I've heard that a lot. A lot of Bermudians say, oh, these Portuguese people here. Find me a Bermudian that doesn't have a Portuguese cousin, and I'll find you either the child of an immigrant or a damn liar.
Damn, I got a Portuguese cousin.
My family got started from Portuguese people.
Oh, well, you know, it's fine.
We black now.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it okay, I guess.
But I mean, honestly,
But how long have the Portuguese been here?
we should be proud of that
No,
diverse
we
culture
should
that
be,
we-
but we're not, because all this crap going on, y'all's complaining about everything, but y'all still gonna get your Portuguese bakery food, y'all still gonna, hire them to do your landscaping, you're still gonna get them to do everything you want them to do, but you're gonna complain about them being here.
Well, as long as we have our bootleg Caribbean culture, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing though, I never hear any complaints about the Bahamians, the Bajans, the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, all of the black immigrants here.
Well,
No, I don't have a problem with them. The Jamaican girl does my locks, and the Jamaican guy shakes my face up. I have no problems with immigrants.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, we go to the same guy.
He customer.
Oh yeah, because these are hardworking people. We don't have a problem with them. The Portuguese sector of the population is extremely hardworking. But we have such a big problem with them. We complain about the Portuguese and the Filipinos taking our jobs, but I never actually see that many Bermudians trying to get those jobs anyway. So it just seems that in this day and age, complaining about having Portuguese people integrated into our culture, it just seems a little asinine. They've been here for literally hundreds of years, and there's nothing wrong with them being here, as long as they are productive members of society.
Well, I'm just gonna let you know that I have worked at a lot of jobs. And in my experience, I have really ever had like an actual foreign person try to get me unemployed. Now, on the flip side,
Oh yeah, Bermudians give you hell.
it's like the first thing that I heard come out of a Bermudian's mouth if they have piss poor service or whatnot is, oh, well, I want that person's job. Or if they have like an incident, let's say somebody dropped something, oh, I want that person's job, and how you even work, or how you get, and it's to your own people, really, like, because I mean, even when I supervise and I say, oh, we can't sell alcohol past 9 o'clock. What? Turn my head, get your manager. He comes forward, a white man, and he says, oh, we can't sell it past 9 o'clock. Oh, okay. So you want master say it to you. But anyway, my thing is, regardless,
Speaking of
I have never really had much issues. Like, the foreigners tend to stay to themselves, if they're working, and they stay within their little cliques, and if you're nice enough, sometimes you get to know them. Me, personally, I kind of go to work, just work and leave. I know some people know me, that's pretty much it. But I have never had those sort of encounters that were threatening of my job or my employment from anyone who was not from it. So, just...
I'm sure it does happen, but not that often.
I mean, people are people, but I'm just saying.
People. But speaking of immigrants, master, and Bermudians, dogging black Bermudians, I was in the House of Assembly Friday before last, because, last Friday was a holiday. I went there to take some notes because I was under the impression that they were going to be discussing the sugar tax, because it was supposed to be going through
June
1st. It's not.
Oh, great.
It can't be. It hasn't been debated in the House.
Well,
but I went there to go get notes on the sugar tax. So I came, I put my suit on, made sure my tie was straight. I sat down with my iPad and I was ready to take some notes. Normally when I go to the House of Assembly, I have between 15 to 20 pages of notes because I always try to jot down everything that's being said. Sometimes I'm in there, like some days I've been there from 10 a.m. to almost 11:30 at night. It happens. However, this day, Wayne Keynes got up there speaking about how we're going to increase police presence over the holidays. Cool.
Awesome.
Great. We're going to make sure that the shooting doesn't happen again. Cool. Great. Jotted that down. Wunderbar. Minister Wilson came. She spoke about something. The Premier was away, so he wasn't there. You know, they did condolences for like another good hour and a half. You know, they spoke about Ronnie. They spoke about a few other people that passed away. Okay. Just ready to take down some notes. And then the shit show started. When Rob Commission got up there and gave a story about how he was the first black Bermudian to go to MSA. And he was speaking, and he was on his pulpit, and I was the first one to do this, and my parents did this, and I did this, and I'm like, cool. But how does that help me? See, and then had the audacity to look at me, walked on and say, that was for you, young man. And I'm like, man,
that was for you.
That weren't for me. Because I didn't get shit out of it.
You should do.
I'm sorry, but if you think stories of how you were the first black Bermudian to do something are going to have any form of impact on us these days, they don't. Because what are we supposed to get out of that? Yeah, we appreciate it. Yes, we appreciate the struggle. Yes, we are happy. No, we're not happy to do it. But yes, we are grateful that you overcame these things so that we can have the opportunities that we have today. However,
big however,
that doesn't help us now. How does that help you? Doesn't help me?
No.
How does that help me get a job? How does that help me afford my rent? When most of you lot got houses handed to you from your grandparents, or from your parents and your grandparents.
You know.
How does stories of the struggles of the past, and then Christopher Famous got up on there saying, oh, well, you guys don't want to talk about, you guys want to ask questions about this, but let's ask about Jetgate. Let's ask about this. Let's ask about why Premier Dunkley called the police in to fight those old people. I'm like, well, yo, just literally, they were race baiting for almost 3 hours. And I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed because this is where we're supposed to get stuff done, and all I've heard is just the same rhetoric I've heard over and over and over and over. It's nothing new. And as the PLP just sit there, now it's not everybody in the PLP, as certain members of the PLP just keep their bashing the OBA with the race card and this, and we struggled through this, and you are oppressive for this, and the old people got beat up for this, and what about Jetgate? What about this? What about this? What happened? What's on Rockwood's further? What was Pettingill saying? Well, why your daddy go to fly away to find business for Bermuda? Oh, what happened to that Stern Craig Cannoner still? Oh, well, what happened to this? Why didn't Dunkley close this business? Why did Dunkley? And the question was asked, why aren't there any black owners of Dunkley's Dairy? Because it's called Dunkley's Dairy! And then Dunkley got up there not even making things any easier, saying, oh, well, you know, I've got guys that come in late every morning. I'm like, oh my God. Bruh, you were smarter than that.
Well.
Oh my God, I had to leave. I literally had to leave. I'm like, I'm going to shoot myself.
As much as most people look at it as, oh, we're just tossing out a bunch of rhetoric, then it's actually quite a clever strategy, and the strategy has a lot of parts that are happening right around us that we are not really looking at, that we should be looking at.
It's a blind negative. They're making such a big smoke screen with the whole thing that we don't really see what's going on.
No, and it's not so much of a smoke screen. It is the fire, because if you look at it, you have a narrative that you need right now. Bermudians have been very, 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 like, historically unreceptive to independence in the past, and it has been brought up by Sir John Swan before our time, and been brought up by Alex Scott just at the beginning of our time, and now here we are again. But every time this independence rears its head, it rears its head on the side of things. And with this narrative, right, how exactly does the PLP intend to push independence to the population? And it's very simple, really.
I don't know if they're actually gonna go through with independence. It almost kind of feels like it's an emotional response because the UK government's like, okay, show us this and show us this, and then Burt's like, okay, well, we'll just go independent.
He doesn't have a choice but to stick to his guns now.
I understand that, but at the same time, y'all called us crazy for saying that this was gonna happen.
But I had come to find out that independence was right in their manifesto anyway.
Yeah.
So it was literally in their platform.
And y'all called us crazy for saying that. So lo and behold, we told you so.
And now we're back to it. And that's exactly how it's going to pass. Because if you look at it, the sugar tax that is being debated.
Is it? It's not being debated. It's just there.
Well,
and we're waiting to hear about it.
Set to be debated whenever they get around to stop taking the knickers. But it's a clear money grab. But a money grab for what? Like, this is the questions that we as the people who are looking on need to ask. Why do you need a money grab? Why has this racial narrative been built up leading up to this point, whereas the tensions are so high in Bermuda you can cut it with a knife, right?
A very, very large.
Why do you think that these tensions are being built? Why do you think that a money grab strategy that is clearly not for diabetes, because salt is not being touched and many other diabetes contributing factors like milk chocolate and Cadbury are not being touched.
And ice cream, pretty much everything that BGA owns, which is owned by who?
Well, yeah, we outlined that. But keep that in mind, that when independence comes up, why exactly would the government of the day be trying to stockpile more funds? Everything's going up. And the sugar tax, it's been stipulated that a percentage of that will go to health. But we don't know what percentage that is. So where is all of that money supposed to go?
Aren't we already funding the health department? Didn't the health department already get quite a large increase in their budget this year?
Apparently they need more for health initiatives. But my thing is that percentage could be anywhere from 0.01%. And it would still be legal, because as long as the percentage is going to the health ministry.
It doesn't matter how big of a percentage.
Exactly.
But my problem is, and it goes back to my problem with the House of Assembly. They're sitting there bashing them with these, hitting them with this, and the whole time the OBE is just like quiet. Dunkley got up there to put his foot in his mouth, but other than that, they're quiet.
Of course, because.
And then my dad gets up there and says, you keep saying supporting Black Bermuda, but I don't see Black Bermuda being supported. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Usually me and my dad don't agree with things politically, but this, I was like, I can't argue with this because I am worried because we put so much emphasis on Black Bermuda, Black Bermuda. There's more than just Black Bermuda.
But even if, it's part of the exact same thing, the strategy.
But what is being done? I mean, when they're in the platform, they've been like they said, oh, we're gonna make life easier for the working class Bermudan, right? That's pretty much what they said. All I have seen is policies that are gonna make groceries more expensive, independence, which is gonna threaten it was gonna threaten international business, Bitcoin strategies, which. People are being advised not to, I know there's more than just Bitcoin, but people are being advised not to invest in Bitcoin right now. There's other digital currencies out there that are a bit more stable, but right now, people are being told not to invest in it. Now, we already did our spiel on that, so we'll
again,
talk about that later. But
yes, still, the narrative, all of this is part of something much larger.
Yeah, but independence is not feasible right now because we can't
as much as you have logical, as we've already did an entire video on why independence is not feasible at this time. The thing is that our government has shown time and time again by putting it in the manifesto, by throwing it out, because they threw it out during the election, subliminally, and they threw it out again. And now they say, because Mr. Burt said, oh, it's not at the forefront of our agenda, but it is there. And I do believe it's not at the forefront because all of this is leading to this point. Because every time we mention something new, even from the rhetoric of 2 Bermudas, 3 Bermudas, 4 Bermudas, all that stuff is divisive. But it is channeling people to make a decision based off of security and safety. And this is something that the PLP does really well. It makes people feel as though their safety and security is threatened by this big boogeyman that is white establishment. And I do believe that white establishment will always have its best interest at heart, just as we blacks do. But I will say it's impossible to deny the disparities between the races as far as income and opportunities. Impossible. However, when you really look at it, the PLP has systematically geared this country towards making an impulsive decision to go independent, and is scrambling now to find ways to support independence. Because why exactly is the PLP trying to go into cryptocurrency? Why do they want this to be so big? Another branch of the economy to prepare and to supplement the loss of IB that might happen from independence.
Well, the problem is back in the 80s, the former government put, first it was like, okay, we're going to tourism. Okay, cool. Then the next was we were going to do something else. Then next we're going to do something else. And then we stuck with international business, and then we turned it into the cornerstone of our economy. So now that if it, you know, it's just like that one Jenga piece at the bottom that if you move it,
yeah,
it might fall. It might fall.
Yeah.
But it might stay up. We don't know.
But you think about it, it's all of this is geared towards independence.
But the thing is, it's just
all of it. And I'll stand by that. That is.
I'm not disagreeing,
because I really believe that relaxing the talk of relaxing the 60-40 rule, trying to make Bermuda more appealing to businesses, is so that when this decision is made according to the PLP, which they believe is the next step for Bermuda, you look at it, all of a sudden, all this interest in your regiment, and no one cared about your regiment before now. Didn't nobody care? But all of a sudden, you know, we are seeing the regiment being endowed with powers of policing, endowed with a budding Coast Guard. You are seeing it being transformed into something that could be full-time. That's the first step. What does an independent country need? A full-time defense force. One thing Bermuda doesn't have that every single one of its island neighbors have is a Coast Guard that enforces our rules. Hence why our oceans are getting fished to death and our reefs are dying, because we have no one out there to tell those people to bugger off. Now, we are looking towards moving into a Coast Guard, right? That screams independence to me, because no sort of funds was being allocated to the regiment before. All of a sudden now, a ton of funds are being allocated. Where do they want these extra funds to come from? Your sugar tax. This sugar tax is a money grab to make more money to fuel these industries. Because what are they trying to do? They want to strengthen international business. How would they do that? Cryptocurrency. They want to bring businesses here to supplement the businesses that they might lose by going independent.
But this is the thing, and you know what's really scary? We don't have an opposition to even stand up against them. and don't tell me it's because the PLP has such a bigger arm than the OBA. Because when there were 7 PLP members, and Lord knows how many UBP members, those that were laud, those that were on top of everything, and those that fought.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Well, I don't know if I should say his name. It was a certain PLP MP that came up to me and said the exact same words to me. But he told me, because when I'm sitting in the House of Assembly, they come talk to me. They come speak. They all come speak to me. Not knocking, not all of them, but a good bit of them from both sides come to speak to me. He told me he's disappointed because they don't have an opposition, and it has nothing to do with the numbers. Even though the PLP has a much stronger arm, and there were 7 to 8 PLP members versus, I'm not really good at math. 28.
Yeah, the rest.
UBP members.
36 each.
Yeah. Those PLP members were big enough to have a fight. The problem is, it's like there's no fight left in the OBA. Because after, and the thing is, after my dad gave his speech, and he spoke very well about how we keep saying that we're going to band together, but we never do. Which is absolutely true. We keep saying, oh, unity, we need to work together, we need to progress black, we need to support black businesses, but when it comes to supporting black businesses, it's like, if a white man selling a water bottle for $1, you're going to buy it from him. If an Asian man selling a water bottle for $1, you're going to buy it from him. If a Mexican man's selling a water bottle for $1, you're going to buy it from him. But if a black man sells a water bottle, come on, bro, come on, hook me up, man, I got 50 cents, hook a brother up.
Yeah, but even that is systematic, and
It's stupid. It's stupid is what it is.
Yeah, but it is what is going to lead us to the point of which the PLP wants us to be as a country. You see, right now, the innovation, though, that, and I frankly will venture to call it a conspiracy, because really it is, because all these parts are moving, and if you really look at where they're moving to independence. And with Premier Burt taking such a fierce stance against the UK, not once but twice.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. Once on a global television network, and then the second time to Theresa May on the phone. So we're looking at right now being one of the, I think we're one of the few overseas territories, if the only one, that told the UK no. So at this point, there's been a boiling point, obviously, with us embarrassing the UK with the domestic partnership, because it undermined their Human Rights Act and undermined them who have legally made same-sex marriage illegal. We undermined them there. That's the first step. Now we're undermining them here with the pressure they're getting from the US to crack down this tax haven industry. So if you really, 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 really look at it, we're already kind of moving away, whether the people want to or not.
Yeah, and if you crack down from this US tax evasion thing, is the US going to come down here and do business?
You bet your big state will.
You think so?
I think that independence is something that Bermuda can consider, but
it needs to be done right, and not done at all.
Every time you look at the narrative, it's the narrative that the PLP has so massively set up with the defeat of the OBA. Is you have so many black comedians that are riled up on nothing but pure emotion, and then you have a lot of other people, not all black comedians, but you know, it's the PLP supporters that are riled up saying we should be talking about this and but they're not asking the correct questions. Then you have the OBA supporters who are just arguing against independence simply because the PLP brought it to the forefront and not the OBA.
You know, I was no, I'm definitely not gonna put this person's name out there because I don't want people to get in hell. But I was involved in the conversation on Facebook with a young man the other day about independence underneath another friend of mine's status, and he said his exact words were, "What would be so bad of getting rid of our colonial oppressors?" And I championed him. I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to argue with you, but I'm trying to ask you, give me a logical and unemotional answer to why we should have independence. And the whole time it just danced around colonialism and racism and this and this. And I'm like, yes, but produce me numbers. Show me a cohesive plan for what can be done. What are we going to use to supplement international business? Oh, international businesses won't leave. I'm like, if they leave because of this, what is our backup plan? To have a plan without having contingency isn't going to work. And as I'm sitting here just asking him logical questions, he just kept dancing back and forth and back and forth. And me and the gentleman whose status it was originally, we're both like, dude, you're not even really talking to us. You're just pretty much spitting the same emotional crap and sticking your foot in your mouth. Well, that's not the only place he was sticking it, but I'm gonna be nice. Mm-hmm. But I was very disappointed because this is a young black man in Bermuda doing his thing, and this is immense capacity. Like, I felt dumber for having this conversation because not one logical reason did he provide, and this was going on for hours. And not once did he give anything logical that was not seeded from his emotional place. And I'm sorry, and I know the OBA won their election in 2012 on emotion. And I know the PLP wins their elections on emotions.
Yeah, politics.
Politics and policy need to stop being done from emotion. As many good things as I have to say about the Premier, one of the main negative things I have about him is he is very emotional. And
you would think that with his home country, Jamaica.
I thought it was Canada.
This is Jamaican. With his country going the way it went when they decided to go.
Well, I wouldn't talk. Jamaica had a problem before they went independent that just cascaded. Yes. A lot of people use Jamaica as the lightning rod for what might happen, but
no. The reason why it's the lightning rod is because of the possibility of what is possible.
Okay, fair enough.
When somebody gets independent, because Bermuda has its own issues too, and we have a very, very strong black nationalist arm in this country that without a cap could possibly go extremely right at any time.
It already is.
Exactly, but right now they have regulations. They have somebody that's above them. But once you take that ceiling away, we don't know which way it could go. We can have a reemergence of a black oligarchy, or a white oligarchy. It could go either way. It could go either way, because at the end of the day, we haven't seen any logical way that us as a country can regulate the amount of money that passes through us without it becoming fraudulent, or without, like, how as a country can we look at independence when we can't get a bus schedule right, or we can't get trash collection right?
But you know what Jamaica has that we don't?
Exports.
And you know what else Jamaica has that we don't?
Plantains. Oh yeah.
Okay. You want to know what else Jamaica has that we don't?
Population.
What else?
Weed.
No, we have weed too.
Okay,
But-
Zach, my bad.
Space.
Yep, you're damn right.
You want to know what else Jamaica has? The ability to feed itself. You want to know what else every other nation in the Caribbean? I know we're not in the Caribbean, but we're always compared to the Caribbean, and we're comparing ourselves to the Caribbean. What does every Caribbean country have that we don't?
Space.
The ability to feed itself in space.
But even with that, can be compensated with good planning and preparation.
I'm aware of
And the fact
that, but
we have more money than most of them combined.
I understand that, but I am not seeing good planning. I have not heard any plan. I have not heard any narrative. All I've heard is independence.
But
Why?
This is my point.
What
And
for?
This is
With
why
what?
we need to challenge this, because again, the right questions aren't being asked.
And then we're not going to challenge it. Who is?
Yeah, we just want to know. He said he's going to get to work on a plan for it. But my thing is, I would have rather you come with the plan first.
Thank you.
Than to...
That's what we need. We need to come with the plan first and the emotion later.
Because discussion on independence goes nowhere in this country, because it's
just gonna go back and forth, because the white people's gonna say no, we don't need it, and the black people's gonna be like, oh, we're trying to get rid of our colonial oppressors, and the people in between that are just like,
because
what?
It's tons of blacks that are on defense, it's tons of whites that are on defense, and I feel like everybody would be more comfortable with facts, and I do believe that there is a way. I personally support independence. I do.
I don't have a problem with it as long as it's implemented and done properly.
Yeah, and I mean, I do believe that if we maintain a good relationship with the UK through this process, then we could still maintain
maybe even a better relationship with the EU.
Yeah, we might not have to necessarily use a visa. Just if we go for a seat in the Commonwealth.
No, let's before we close out, let's just know what's happening a week from now. 2 weeks from now.
What's that?
What's going on June 7th, my friend? Mm-hmm.
It took me a little while. Don't judge me. Yeah, well. Yeah, I know 2014 is going down. 2014, baby.
You mean 2610?
Yeah. I didn't do good at math either. 2610, baby. Yeah. Them guys are gonna take Owl City.
Okay, so Curtis Dickinson is running against Justin Mathias, and Curtis Richardson is running against Scott Perryman. Now, I might have mixed up those Curtises, so forgive me. But
You don't want to do another episode of it.
you think you should?
I feel like you're about to. You know,
All right, we'll go and finish this one next episode. We'll check you out later.
This has been This Type of News. I'm Dr. Perryman.
Peace.
That's Bruce Robinson.
This is the middle finger in England, you know.